Hi, and welcome back. This is Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the spiritual sorceress herself, Sandy Reevy.
Hi, Alex.
This is episode 33, recorded March 12th, 2019, and here it goes. Sun sextile Pluto.
Confront the power.
Sun square Jupiter.
Positive force, just don't O.D.
Mars trine Saturn.
Controlled energy.
Sun cazimi Mercury Retrograde.
Clear and calm.
Mercury Retrograde square Jupiter.
Optimistic approach.
Sextile Pluto.
Investigating truths.
Sextile Mars.
Think for self.
Then we have one talisman Sandy finished last week, as well as 5 possible upcoming. On the horizon, we have a Cosmic Trends Facebook Live free event, a paid webinar, a trip to Portland, as well as our Bali retreat. Then finally, we're going to wrap up in our house with Sandy's shared story, finally, about her toes and her toe reading. Also, if you would like to come on the podcast and have us discover your solar return chart, make sure to listen to the end of the episode for your chance to come on the podcast.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys.
Hello, Mama.
Hi, Alex.
The spiritual sorceress. Nice.
That's my sorcerer.
That was your wand?
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. Well,
it's all sparkly.
Well, I mean, it's March 12th, and we're getting closer to your birthday.
I know, we're right in between yours and mine.
It's a great day. It's a great month to be born.
We like
all
March,
you Pisces out there, and we
Pisces.
love you.
Happy birthday to you all.
Yes. So I wanted to first go direct to you all, and we have a client, M. Burrow, who sent in a lovely message about her reading with Sandy.
Let me hear.
The title is Closure, Comfort, and Going Forward. I cannot say thank you enough. The reading provided me such clarity, closure, and understanding that I was in serious need of. I often feel like my emotions have the best of me and are all over the place or hard to understand, but now I at least have a better understanding of why. Through the reading and the exploration of my natal chart, I feel as though I have a better understanding of myself and my natural path. I still feel a bit lost, but at least I know that I have a few tricks that I can work with. The reading helped me deal with some lasting issues that I did not want to address, but really needed to, and gave me hope for the future. It truly did take a burden off my shoulders. I cannot say thank you enough. I very much did not want the reading to end.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just love the astrology that I can get into when I'm using that as a divination tool to, get into what energy did you breathe in that you said you wanted. Let's reevaluate. Let's kind of recapture that from a very primal, pure essence, right? And just to at least kind of go down, come back up, go down. It's like a roller coaster. And you learn more with each dive.
Right.
And you can spring back up higher with each turn.
Right.
So thank you.
And I really like what I like too about, astrology is that you can really set the dramatics and the way too much details aside, and you can start talking in different languages of seeing something as like an observer's perspective, where you're kind of taking a step back and you're assessing. And I like that, where you can really take a step back and be an active part while you're watching. You're not stuck in the muck of the dramas and the fears and those types of situations.
Nor do you have to change anything that quickly. I mean, you have your lifetime to understand, and you start with just a surface, if that's what allow in, and to kind of dig and dive and get to closer to the bottom each time. I mean, I think it's brilliant. I did readings all day today, and, just some of the feelings that I would get upon getting on the call, because I have to do, an hour or so, report work before I even get on the call. And I would say, okay, this is the sense I get about this next call, and write it down. And I literally have to say to the person on the other phone, let me read you what I wrote earlier today.
Right.
Because you have just said it. You are already in it because you're experiencing it. I'm just seeing it as the energy shift.
Right.
And you're right on. You're living through the correct energy and frequency that you were born.
And so what kind of process do you go through before you are going into a reading? Say for somebody new.
For someone new, I really go to their natal chart, get a glimpse of their sun, their moon, the ascendant, and any aspects to, if there's any major conjunctions to any of those major players, the two luminaries and the ascendant, which is really considered the skin you wear to the world. And if there's any, benefits or afflictions going on, I think the client needs to know that. We can't get into a whole hour of natal work, because I'm hoping that I can just tap on some big things and then go right into the transits, which is what is going on in the world for them right now. However, I had my very first 3-hour reading last week.
How did that go?
Well, I was daunting. I'm like, 3 hours. And,
That's like almost a full golf game.
Which, I don't play that game because it's like, takes too long. But, I was prepared. It was one of, several of the readings I had in a day. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'd have to I think I need a lunch break. I think I need a nap. I think I need a potty break. I don't know. I need to fill up my cup a couple times. I'm going to have to do these in 10 segments. And it turned out that I didn't need any break. I didn't need any time.
Nice.
It really flowed.
How was that different from, say, an hour reading?
Well, deeper, longer. The client was able to share more, get more into that historical vision. We did another chart. So it wasn't all about that one chart. I did have another person's chart that she got permission for. So we kind of did a synastry chart. So there's a lot of information. It's like doing, 3.
So that was basically
charts.
3
hour charts.
Yeah. 3 hour read. 3 1-hour readings.
Yeah.
Kind of
directed
put together.
To, yeah.
Okay.
The wife, her, and then the husband, and then their combined chart. Their synastry chart on how best to work and what's going on in their world right now.
I love it.
And that was really, really extremely helpful to her. In fact, she's now become a monthly client.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So if anyone is interested in getting an astrology reading that's listening to the podcast, there is an exclusive event that we give just to our podcast listeners. So, and we never discount these readings ever. I mean,
an hour is an hour.
An hour is an hour. Yes. So we do a very special price for you podcast listeners. What you can do is you go to intentionbeads.com/podcast, and there's a little button on the side that asks you for your podcast password. And the podcast password is Jazz Fuzz. That's our producers, here in Chicago, Jazz Fuzz Studio. So it's JAZZFUZZ, all lowercase. You plug that in and you're able to get your special rate. So check that out. And really, we do need to shift over to In the Transits because we got a big week coming up.
There's a lot going on. Mercury's doing a lot of dancing backwards and hitting some of the planets that it's already hit on its forward dance forward.
So yeah, it's
twirling
retrograde
around
right now.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. So March 13th is going to be a big day. We have Sun sextile Pluto and Sun square Jupiter. So tell me a little bit about those.
Well, we begin our day around 9:25 in the morning with that Sun sextile Pluto. And this happens twice a year. And Pluto is the, master planet. It really is asking for transformation. So it's really a time to make a profound change in your life, in your circumstances, in your situation. It really is to help your situation that improves others as well, right? This because it's Pluto, And Pluto has that ability to become possessive or manipulative. So there can't be any selfish motivations here that turn into, trying to maneuver or control, possess a situation. So it has to always be for the collective. When you make these changes, and these are profound changes. These are transformational change.
So it's not really easy, quick decisions like, oh, I'm going to go to the grocery store today.
No,
this is something that's
right,
long standing. It's making change, of something that's been permanent.
Or has been in one's life for a while, that just says, it's time that I flip this and change it. It's like the alchemist, right? Changing one thing into another that has more value. It has more promise. It's really about, repairing any personal issues. You can clean up things. You're aligned with your focus. This is time to do research, investigative work. It's the private eye that can, understand on a depth level what really needs to change. So things like, like changing your habits for eating or smoking or drinking or any of those addictive personality type traits that are so ingrained and inbred. This might be a time where you can, I titled it Confront Your Power. Recognize the power that you own and use it. It's a sextile. It's 60 degrees. So it does say it's available if you tap into it.
Yeah.
But it's not, it won't be like, it won't come through your front door if you haven't welcomed it in.
Right. So there's not going to be like a hypnotist that just knocks on your door saying, hey, I'm doing free hypnotherapy for, quitting smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. I've come to you. So,
and it's actually for free.
And there's nothing, and so therefore, because what would that be? Are you really confronting your own power? Or it's just you're taking a gift from somebody else that you really don't even care. Yeah. You don't, it's not going to go anywhere.
Free things.
Yeah.
And I've noticed doing this, with like, scheduling events, and we host many events. Whenever we would have a free event, it would almost be like at the last minute, people, if they were like, maybe feeling a little bit under the weather or a little bit tired, they'd make the decision, oh, well, it was free.
Yeah, I'm not going to attend.
Right? So
there's no extra effort. There's no skin in the game.
Right. So get some skin in the game and decide, what are you going to be confronting on March 13th?
Mm-hmm. But by the evening, 8:29 p.m. on the same day, we have the sun square Jupiter. And, we would know that squares are that 90-degree aspect that can create a little bit of a friction. However, Jupiter is the one planet that is the cosmic Santa Claus. Thank you, Barbara Shermer. That gives gifts. And in a square, wants to overgive. So we have to be careful here. That's why I titled it, be a positive force, which is really, earlier in the day, we confront our power and then be a positive force. By the end of the day, you still have that support from Jupiter and the sun. But you just can't overdo it. You can't OD. You can't be overly optimistic or overly confident or give too much where you don't have it. So it's about high energy to excel. Watch for, like I said, watch for excess, like doing too much. Because like I said, Jupiter wants to expand anything it touches. And here it's touching in a square that says, I'm going to give you more than you can handle. And that could kind of backfire a little bit because you can be like 100% all in on your control of your power. And then by the next morning, it's like, I can't get out of bed. I went to the gym and, ran too hard. Now my knee's swollen. That you have to do it in moderation. It's key, because otherwise, if you're not having self-control in that, you can become this, very righteousness and arrogant and egotistical, because Jupiter wants to overgive to the sun. It wants to give more energy to the ego. So, but it's a great day. Use this energy. Oh my goodness.
Right. That sounds like a really transformative day. So March 14th, we have a couple transits as well. Yeah. We have Mars trine Saturn and Sun cazimi Mercury Retrograde. So tell me about those.
So as we wake up in the morning, we'll get the first one, Mars, our physical energy, trine, easy breezy. Think of it as a slide, like a pyramid triangle, 120, and to Saturn. And Saturn is the disciplinarian, the self-control, the authority,
timekeeper,
the taskmaster, the restrictor. However, when it's in a trine, it gives sustenance. It gives structure. So, controlled energy. This is a place where patience and focus works well together. It's if you need to have a focus on an exactitude, if you have a skill or you have a repair job or a fine writing, this is a time where your energy can equate to the demands of the day. So it's high energy, right? But it's working in situations where you can cope with all types and you can solve problems. It's a really big, strong day. So it's lots of energy that is controlled. So you're not, it's like this would be a good day to, run a marathon. Okay. At 5:01 a.m. on Thursday, March 14th. I don't think there's any marathons going on that day, but this is, kind of running the long race.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
And then, so Sun, cazimi, Mercury retrograde. And in earlier episodes, we've talked a lot about Mercury retrograde, but the cazimi part means in the heart of.
In the heart of the sun. So any planet that is traveling past the sun has to cross the elliptic line which has to cross the sun. And so when it gets within a 17-minute of arc, meaning 17 minutes within the 1 degree, because there's 60 minutes in a degree. So within that time, it's a short little time, depending on how fast that planet's moving. But it equates to calm, the heart of the sun. It's in the center because the sun is a really big, bright, hot, steamy fireball, right? And any planet getting close can combust. It burns up. The energy burns up. But when it gets into the heart of it, in the center of it.
Is it like the eye of the storm?
The eye of the storm, where chaos and debris is flying all over.
It's getting a big solar hug.
It gets to have this clear and calmness. So, check this date out, and this comes in at 8:48 p.m. But I ran the data, and the cazimi lasts from Thursday the 14th at 5:24 p.m. until 12:15 a.m. on Friday morning. So let's just say that that's a good 7 hours, just about 7 hours of clarity. So, I challenge you to, in this time zone, in this time frame, to get a clear answer. Because Mercury's in retrograde. So what have you been trying to figure out in this Mercury retrograde time? This could be where you get that's why I have to redo it. Or that's why I need to, relax or reframe or rewrite or reinvestigate or revitalize. So see if you can, during this time, get this, rub your eyes and go, oh, now I see. Now I see. So, we always get, and we'll be getting another Mercury cazimi to the sun, because remember, Mercury travels around the sun. So it's oftentimes throughout the year, when it retrogrades, it crosses back over the sun, then it moves forward, it crosses back over the sun again. So we get many opportunities to have a Mercury cazimi the sun throughout the year. It's important to pay attention to them, because if there's any other planetary alignments here or in a particular house or in a sign, which this is Pisces, so, you can go backwards into that dream. We titled that Mercury retrograde theme of reframing your dream. So, I'll be making some talisman during the cazimi. And actually, I sold we just came from a huge, big show. One of our favorite show that Liz has every 2 years.
Right.
And I sold all of the intention bracelets that had the Mercury cazimi, the sun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this will be getting back in stock, a cazimi of clarity and, being able to express like I'm trying to right now, because we're not in cazimi right now, that express clearly and definely and effectively.
Interesting. And so March 15th, we have Mercury retrograde square Jupiter. So break this down a little bit.
So this is on Friday the 15th. It happens around 6:17 p.m. And optimistic approach. Now, we're even in this retrograde because some of my questions, what goals are you reconsidering? Is there a redo that you're doing? Figuring out the best solution to repair or enhance an issue. Because remember, the retrograde period, we're going backwards, we're redoing something. We forgot something that we need to remember. And maybe just the night before we had figured it out. So now we're going to be spending time to reestablish how to write and correct and repair. There's another RE word, repair. What needs to be taken care of. And it's square Jupiter. There's that square Jupiter. It wants to overdo, wants to give more thought and meaning and ideas and anything, more conversation around it. So this could be a day where you have this optimistic approach to have conversations. Now,
right. And we know that Jupiter is in Sagittarius.
Right. So we know that Jupiter and Mercury are opposing planets in a natural chart. Mercury says, let's get to the detail. Let's get to the small pieces. And Jupiter's like, I just want to go big. Let's just go right to the big picture. So they're in this square that says, gather the information.
Right. Yeah.
So let's get all the
Out,
details.
yeah. And even, being in that square, they got to figure out who's running the show.
And I want you to go back into your calendar and look up on February 22nd that what was happening around this date that would have been your first clue. This is kind of like a scavenger hunt to go back, because that's the first time in this retrograde cycle that this Mercury squared Jupiter. You might have been given a signal on what the circumstances were. That was the first pass that I mentioned. On the 15th is the second pass, and it's the only pass we get with the retrograde. And then by April 12th, we get the third and final pass of Mercury in a square to Jupiter. So, we're only a little bit through this. We still have some more time, another month to get through where we feel like we can understand this well enough to move it forward. We're just in collecting data right now. That's what we're in. There's not a whole lot that we do concerning any of these. We just get our information.
Right. And so March 16th, then, Mercury retrograde sextile Pluto, investigating the truths.
Well, you're doing more research, right? You're finding the details that you might have overlooked. You're asking clarifying questions. You have some more time before you make a final decision. We don't want to make a final decision during Mercury retrograde. We're just collecting the information. But here's some dates that this would have come in initially. Now, February 23rd, if we look, that's the February 22nd I gave with that square Jupiter. Now, the February 23rd is the sextile to Pluto. So, sextile, it's easy energy, but you have to do the work. So the final time this hits is April 10th. So that's when you should have the final get-go. You should have the final
draft.
The final draft. It's like, okay, this is when you can stamp it and start moving forward, make the plan. And then on Sunday, March 17th, which is, St. Patty's Day on a Sunday, this Mercury retrograde again is sextile Mars. Now, this happens at 10:23 p.m., so the day is pretty much over here. And I titled that Think for Self. And, revamp your thoughts, another RE word. your ideas, your beliefs, and then you can take the action, because this is sextile Mars. So again, you should be learning now that 60-degree sextile says it's a half of a trine. A triangle trine is 120, and a sextile is half of that, it's 60. So it says easy energy, but you have to look for it. You have to engage with it. So, what about some old habits that now need to, you need to move on to erase or to rectify? So, check out that day on what kind of hits you get for, what inspires you to take action. Mm-hmm. You might be taking action here, but it may not be in its full glory. It may not have its, running gym shoes on yet. It just is starting to feel the energy that it's time to move forward. And of course, we still have another 10 days before the Mercury starts moving forward. And that's on March 28th. So here we're just at March 17th. So we're just collecting this information. The date that this previously has come into play was February 7th. Look at your calendar and see if something was happening around the February 7th where, you had an idea, you were moving it forward, and then it got repressed. It needed to go back to the drawing board. And the final time that you'll get that complete, with complete clarity and complete go-ahead is on May 1st. That'll be the third and final time of this connection. And Mercury will be out of Pisces. It'll be in Aries. And so there's more of a action there, mm-hmm. more than being in contemplation. What should I do? What should we do?
Right. So yeah, this week is going to get very contemplative than the last few days. But so let's shift over to Talisman Times. Let me give us an idea of what type of talismans you're going to be creating this week.
So I did one last week. I did this on Wednesday, March 6th, and I got the Mercury that was stationing retrograde on this exact moment was square Jupiter. And to successfully rectify wrongs, I use my talents and positive attitudes to inspire those who welcome healing.
Yeah.
Because we had the sun in Pisces, the moon in Pisces, and the rising sign of Pisces. So the traditional ruler Jupiter was squaring, giving more of this primary essence, this emotional comfort, and the skin, like being all in the environment and your surroundings, to really taking a hold of going in and rethinking. Mercury has just taken its retrograde turn at this moment. So this is a big one. I don't even have it on the website yet, but I made one bracelet. And trust that it's beautiful, Alex. You haven't even seen it yet. But here are the ones. Are you ready? Let me see if I can even reach these heights of...
That's 5 talismans in a week is a lot.
Well, the times, I mean...
Oh, yeah. Talk to me about the times.
Yeah, it's 5 I can do, in a couple days. Should be having beautiful alignments. These are the crazy times. So I'm starting tomorrow, Wednesday, March 13th at 7 a.m. And this is that Mercury stationing retrograde square Jupiter that I just talked about. And this is to take an optimistic approach. As I re-look at the situation, I see and understand its importance to the positive outcome. I adjust willingly.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of like a vision of just standing on this like beautiful plane and just pausing for a minute and just looking. Mm-hmm. And
no action needed.
Right.
It's just the kind of like an automatic download into the self that says, I appreciate this moment that I get to move and change a direction that I am more in line with.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that later that day, Wednesday, March 13th at 2:22 p.m., this is when the sun is going to sextile Pluto and to make profound change in life. I improve the situation so that everyone involved is clear and on the same right track.
Yeah. Kind of like a fresh start.
Right? It's like a rebirth, right? Pluto always wants to kind of eradicate something in order to birth it again, right? So fresh and new. Then a little bit the next morning, but not too fast here because we're Thursday, March 14th at 12:33 a.m. And you know how much I like my sleep these days. But at 12:33, we have the sun in a square to Jupiter. And the Jupiter is at the top of the chart. This is to achieve with restraint. Okay, right? To achieve with restraint. Now, you know how I get these words. I have to read the chart and use the primary essence of these configurations, this aspect that I was going after. I easily control my high energy to reach a total success. I even know when enough is enough. Right? So learning.
So the restraint is not necessarily coming from an exterior.
No, it's all within self. Yeah. So how can I achieve? I could have called it with self-control or, disciplined action. But for some reason, the square to the sun, I called it, with a sense of not overdoing. Mm-hmm. Having some restraint, we could call it discipline or self-control or
to achieve with reservation. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I like
that. I like that. To achieve with restraint. Yeah. Or even like self-restraint. Yeah. I like that.
So Thursday, again, March 14th, now at 4:33 a.m. So I guess this might be a day I don't sleep. And I know I have readings all day Thursday, so I don't know if I'm going to get to
these are maybes.
Please somebody get up and, make a doodle, make an art origami or something on these times, because I don't know that I'll be able to grab these because I wouldn't want to let down my full day of readings because I had to get up and make it in Talisman. But should you be able to get up at 4:33 a.m.? We have Mars in a trine to Saturn. And this is to control high energy. My patience,
natural ADD medicine.
My patience and focus make my work exact. I settle all issues with ease that come my way. It's a really nice, I don't mean to use the word vague, but kind of all-encompassing, maybe. It's not so directed at a particular area of work. It's just to, control high energy so that you're not all over the place, that you have an outlet that is specific of nature that you have chosen to
Where you can thread
make
the needle. Thread the needle and finish the garment.
And then we have Thursday, March 14th, big day. This is at 5:24 p.m. We have the Mercury Retrograde conjunct cazimi, the sun, to have all clear messages. I find it extremely easy to piece together all parts into the whole story. It all makes sense now. So this is going to be that day. So go back and listen to all of those transits, because this is the day that you can and put it on your calendar. I can get clarity here. Yeah. I can get clarity.
And that actually reminds me of, so when we were at the International Women's Summit, Liz Gilbert was talking about how she communicates with her late wife who passed away. And so she will get on her computer, and she's a writer. So this is like, a very easy form of communication for her. But what she does is she will type questions to Rhea. Mm-hmm. And then, hit the enter button and get to the next line. And then she types again, and it's like almost like kind of like her talking, having a conversation, a dialogue with Rhea. Yeah.
And like Liz said, it doesn't matter if you think it's you talking. It's just literally being typed out I mean, where is that
you're calling
answer
on that
coming? Yeah.
person, and you're keeping them in mind. And as you're, wondering and figuring what they would be saying, you're kind of channeling them. You're getting into their headspace. And I liked that. So when you said, to have all clear messages, I just thought even intercommunication in that sense would be a wonderful time to have a conversation like that first with somebody that you miss, that we're regardless if they're, alive or not.
If you're just detached, somebody that was always the advice, your mature advice handler.
Right.
So those are the talisman times.
Yeah. So then we have on the horizon. So March has been a very busy time for us. We just got done with the International Women's Summit. And I know I didn't post anything on Instagram. We were very, very wonderfully busy networking, getting new people into our tribe, new friends.
Welcome those that are on the podcast right now.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Yeah. So yes. So March 20th, we are having the Uranus and Taurus webinar.
For the second time.
The first one was great. Everyone absolutely loved it. They're getting real ready for this change that's, coming in their lives. And so there is, of course, a link that you can find on our website. And that's going to be at intentionbeads/events. intentionbeads.com/events. Then March 16th, we have I'm going a little bit weird in time frame here. So the first one was March 20th. The next one, March 16th. So that's this coming Saturday. We are having a Facebook Live free event. And this is so much fun. I have so much fun behind the camera recording it. So it's Sandy and her friend Susan Goodell, who's more the Capricorn, loves stock markets. She wrote a book on trading with astrology. And you two have probably more fun than I even have.
We got a Capricorn and a Pisces. Really, it's interesting dynamics because Susan's the serious one and I'm the, really? Do you really care about that? Who cares? So we do this every quarter. And it's an hour long, free. You get to ask questions. We go over the Q2 of the astrology, and you get your calendars out and put them on. And we give you dates to move forward, dates to hold. We give you some ideas and suggestions on how do you best use the energy. And then when we say goodbye, we have people in the studio where we stay with them for the rest of the day and we go over Q2's aspects to their natal chart. And it seems like we get the same group because, this
they call dibs. They call dibs on their seat
before they leave,
time.
They got their seat already scheduled
but
and
we
paid
do
for.
have, so someone had a conflict, so we have one seat open.
We have one open.
So see if you can join the crew and slide on in.
There's a good chance to get it. And then you could have the next Q3 sign up already.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that's coming up also. So March 22nd and 23rd, we are going to be flying out to Portland, Oregon. So excited. Again, March has been such an incredible
blessing.
Yeah, such an incredible month.
That we've both gotten old. We've both gotten 1 year older this month because we're so busy, I think.
Maybe. Or younger.
Okay.
Busy keeps you young,
We
right?
did have facials. I did give you a facial for your birthday.
Yeah. I'm feeling gleamy. So then we have that show is called Hay House Live. And this is, it's kind of similar to the International Women's Summit. However, it is, for all genders. And it's a really wonderful time to get very intimate with these incredible authors, where you get, I think 8 or 9 hours?
8 hours, a whole day intensive when you sign up with one particular speaker. I think there's 7 speakers, but you get, instead of having like breakout sessions of 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours,
right,
and getting a little taste of everyone, they've really revamped their program and said, okay, pick one and stay there the entirety. I mean, you get a lunch break and you get some shopping time breaks, but you get, the Dr. Joe Dispenza, you get a little bit more intensive with him and his teachings. But a really cool, Hay House does this twice a year. They're doing this one in Portland in 2 weeks' time, and then they're going to Houston in October, where we will be as well.
Yeah, and they have, speakers like James Van Praagh, Tosha Silver, Brian Weiss, and it looks like he's bringing in his wife, Amy Weiss.
That's his daughter.
Oh, his daughter. Oh, that's cool. And Sonia Choquette, Mike Dow, John Holland, Colette Barron-Reed, Joe Dispenza. I mean, Mike Dooley. These are going to be, Gabrielle Bernstein's going.
She's going to be there. Yeah, so I'm sure that there's some more tickets left because they can fill it. I think when I did this in Canada.
Right, Toronto.
In Toronto, they had 4,500 people.
Wow.
There were that many people over the 2 days.
That's a big community.
Over the 2 days. I mean, you didn't have to go Saturday and Sunday. You could only buy just one. But they're doing the writers' convention alongside of the spiritual convention. So it's a lot of amazing people that get to be in one place at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Come join us.
And then finally, we have our Bali retreat, April 15th to the 26th. We are going to be
down.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are closing registration starting this Friday. So if you have an inkling, definitely book your free reading today. Do it now.
Yeah, we have one space available. And if not, we then have the coveted group.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's firming up and plans, and we've got all of our places and our
we're going to be gone for like a whole month. We are going to be gone for like nearly a month. So starting, the first week in April, we're getting back the last week in April, but we are going to be trying to keep you guys in touch with our trip on the podcast. So we're not going to go black. We're going to keep in touch.
Well, we'll bring a little bit of the sounds of Bali into your home.
Ooh. I wonder what that will be.
I've got some ideas. Like
a lot of mopeds.
A lot of monkeys. Is that how monkeys? What
Not
monkeys
usually.
Oh.
No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the sound they make to me when they hiss at me.
When they pulled your pants down.
Yep, that
happened. And they came in your room when you were sleeping.
This all happened to me. You were in the room too.
I know, but I didn't freak out. Did I? No. I didn't get off the bed.
You totally did.
I didn't get off. I didn't run off the bed, try and get after them, and you slipped and fell on your butt. That's what you call
bravery. That is what you call bravery.
And I'm thinking,
this was an alpha male monkey.
Oh, he just sat right there on the dresser.
I swear, I'm pretty sure he just took his hands and just started pounding his chest. I mean,
but you were trying to pound yours so that you could scare him away, and he wasn't going for it.
So I jumped up and I said, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And I ran straight at the monkey, which is not what you're supposed to do. Again, I'm just.
You fell flat on your butt.
I'm gonna let you take everyone to the monkey sanctuary while we're in Bali, because I do all of the things that you're not supposed to do.
You look them straight in the eye.
You're not supposed to do that.
No. So stop.
I can't help it.
No.
I must have been a monkey before in a previous life or something, because I'm like, I want to be the alpha male. So anyway, yes, I ran after the monkey. He just pretty much showed me his crazy long teeth and sharp little incisors there. And then all of a sudden, midair, I'm now retracting, my previous movement, and I just slip on the floor, and I just fell
hit your
straight on my butt.
I was like, oh my God, she's paralyzed now, and the monkey's here, and I'm laying in bed. So I take the pillow, lay in there on the bed, and throw it at the monkey, and he takes my dates and my figs.
Oh yeah, because we had food in there, which was the main draw. So here's how it happened. So we had this really beautiful house in Bali that was very close to the monkey
It's the only time we stayed that close to the monkey forest in the last time.
Hindsight. So we had these beautiful French doors that would open up, and we would be able to see the jungle and, parts of, the outdoor area. We had just arrived.
We landed at 8:10 a.m.
And it was a long trip, so we wanted to nap. And
we first went to the grocery store. Koman, our driver, took us to the grocery store to get us a few little snackies.
Yeah, we got mangosteens. We got little plantain bananas. We got like all of these delicious little things.
Monkey food.
Yeah. And we had that over in the corner. We fall asleep.
It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. We're like going to take a little mini nap.
So I'm hearing all this
Mini monkey
wrestling,
nap.
and it's like the plastic just like, and I am trying to get to sleep, and I'm thinking it's you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, I swear to goodness, like, be quiet. Like, this is a little bit too much wrestling. Like, so I'm like, what are you looking for? And I turn around, and there you are sleeping in the bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is in here? And I look over, and there is a monkey wrestling through our all of our grocery bags.
An old dude, grandpa.
Oh,
big guy.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you know, like I fall down, you throw the pillow, and then he just doesn't even faze him. And he pretty much just is
takes the bag and walks out.
Yeah, I'll take all of this food and I'll just eat outside because clearly I'm not
outside.
Wanted. Oh, he ate inside. But see, there was like a little roof because we were on the second floor. There was a little roof right outside. So I closed the doors as fast as I can, these French doors that were open. And there, you know, there he sat. But usually, like, you know, when you're sitting down and you're eating something, you might want to, you know, look out onto the scape, you know, and look out onto like the jungle. That would be like a normal thing to do.
Well, that's his home.
No. He's turned around. He's now like the roof is like angled
right here,
up,
right at our face,
and he's sitting there just watching us, and he just keeps taking the dates, you know, spitting out the seeds and just throwing them all over the roof. And watching us as we're watching him eat all of our food. It was absolutely crazy. So,
we want to hear something else crazy that has nothing to do with Bali.
What?
That has what I want to talk about is my toe reading.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we went to the International Women's Summit, and that was in Phoenix, Arizona. So there's this Southwest healing
of
arts,
the arts.
Right? Swiha, and they do these toe readings. And if you've never heard of a toe reading, please explain, Mother.
You literally take your shoes and socks off, and the reader sits on the floor at your feet, and you sit in on a chair.
And they're looking at the tops of your shoes or tops of your feet.
And, you know, you get, you know, self-conscious on, did I just have a pedicure? Oh my gosh, you know, I don't want anybody looking at my toes.
Do my feet smell?
And they literally can, by the shape of your toes, which toe they're talking about, is it on your right or left foot? Is it angled? Does it point this way? Is it rolling over? They can tell, are there freckles? I have a couple angel kisses on my toes. Never noticed them before. And, you know, we've been going, every time we go there, we go get a toe reading because just like, you know, hand analysis and just like astrology, any kind of divination, it can change, right? And so I have been going, you know, the last, 6 years, and our favorite Michael does our toe reading.
Yes.
Well, you know, I don't know if you know that, well, I don't tell hardly anyone, but the day after my dad died, my toenail fell off.
Right.
My toenail of my left foot.
I remember how disturbed you were.
Oh, I didn't tell anybody. I just got a Band-Aid and put it back on because it was all painted blue, sparkle and everything. I'm like,
so
you would do the same thing. Everybody would do the same thing.
I don't know.
Because it's winter, but in 1 week's time, we have to be in La Ventana for our first international retreat.
And that's always barefooted.
And I'm the teacher, so I'm walking around barefoot in the yoga studio teaching while everybody's sitting on the ground. I did not want a no-toe nail environment. So I Band-Aided it back on so it looked like I had a little boo-boo.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, I thought I can't hold this on anymore in my boots and in the winter where I'm at here in Chicago. So I finally stop wearing the Band-Aid with the pseudo, you know, painted toenail attached.
So then you go to the toe reading to figure out.
So now I want to go to Michael and say, what does it mean when your toenail falls off? And I was hoping for just some response that would make me feel warm and fuzzy, and I could look at my toe with beautiful eyes and think, oh, look at you. You're ugly as hell. But I'm reaching new heights or something. I wanted something. And he's like, your toenail fell off? Oh, what foot? And he looked at it. He goes, oh, what belief system, set of beliefs or ideas that you've had your whole life, how did they just change? And I said, well, it happened the day after my dad died. And I'm a daddy's girl. And so I can't imagine anything wanting to be changed from where it's been with my dad all these, 60-ish years. He said, something changed and you're now on a new belief trajectory because it's my left toe, my left big foot. My left big toe. That it gave me a sense of something occurred when my dad left that gave me a new set of thoughts and ideas around my destiny. And I don't know if it's that I'm, now my dad is on the other side and I get to tangibly connect anytime I want, not just on the telephone, that this telecommunication is really strong. Mm-hmm. I talk to my dad and I ask him for favors and he provides. I mean, within seconds, he can provide a request. So anyway, I like the fact that, you want to see my toe? I'm showing people now.
No, I don't. I'm good.
Because I like it. Because I want to tell the story that I'm on a whole new belief system. I've let an old beliefs go.
No, that's exciting.
Right at the same time we have this whole new Uranus thing going on in the sky right now.
And so maybe for your birthday, you'll get a new toenail. New toenail.
An acrylic one?
Maybe I can arrange that. I can make that work. Just make sure you wish really hard, okay, when you blow out the candles. So next episode, we are going to talk a little bit about your solar return because it's going to be your actual birthday.
March 19th. Ding, ding, ding. The last day of the zodiac year. That's right. What I got.
Old Lang Syne. We'll maybe sing some,
you
end
can
of
sing.
The year.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll try. So I wanted to give, since we're going to be we did my solar return chart before, and we're going to be doing your solar return. So I figured as an end of the year, the end of the astrological year, why not give one of our podcast listeners a chance to come on while we do their return chart on the podcast?
Great idea, Alex. I like all of them.
So how you can do that, if you would like your solar return chart done on the podcast, email info@intentionbeads.com with the subject podcast reading and give me your birthday, and then we'll start a conversation, and I'll pick one person out of all the people that are going to be fervently requesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick one reader and we're going to bring that person on so you can hear what a solar return chart sounds like. And that will be in 2 weeks. So you guys got 2 weeks to do this.
But let's have it be someone whose birthday is in April.
Okay. So if your birthday is in
March
April.
March or April. Should we do May or just March or April? Just March or April because, you don't want to get too ahead of your time.
Okay, so March or
You're
April.
Still finishing
birthday
up
people.
One.
So we're cutting down the list a little bit. But yes, email us. Even if you have a friend that you think would really dig a solar return reading, you can even email me on behalf of them if they have that birthday in March or April. We'd love to have them on the show. So that is the end of this episode. We love you guys. We love you so much. We, of course, we want to hear from you. We want to hear, I need some more going direct messages to you all, and we need some more reviews. So head to your iTunes, head to your Google Play, give us some reviews on there, and also tell a friend. We would love that. So thanks again for listening to Astrological Intentions.
Bye, Alex.
Bye, Mama.